Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to another video. This one, we're going to go into the Monday Night Football Showdown Slate here on Draftkings. I do want to dive right into this. I actually have to go to work. It's pretty early, so I'm going to have to get to work here in a little bit. So we're not going to waste any time with this. I did want to let you know, though, if you have not already followed me on Twitter, make sure you do so. I tweet before I upload videos. I share them on Twitter. Make sure you do that. Turn on your notifications so that way you don't miss any. Over here on our private page, this is where I'm posting my personal lineups. They are free this week, next week, and they will be free week 4 as well. The first lineups I posted was this cash lineup here for the Rams showdown, the showdown in the GPP for just the single game slate. The cash lineup absolutely cashed with ease. The GPP lineup was like 6 or 7 extra money depending on the contest you were in. So if you put in a $20 single entry contest, you were probably looking more like 10x. Then I also did these two lineups here. I posted the 4 p.m. afternoon only. The cash lineup split. It was kind of like right on the line for me. I had like if it was a $5 double up, I think I got like 640 back or some sort of a split there. And the GPP also was money bags. So we're looking good. We're off to a hot start. These are the only 4 lineups I've posted, and then we will also be going tonight with some other ones. Make sure that you sign up over here on dfs-squid.com. This is where the lineups will be posted. All you have to do is register and then go to Lineups NFL, and it is pretty self-explanatory. It'll take you right to this doc page where we update the lineups daily. And then if they're highlighted in green, they are final. But without further ado, make sure, if you haven't already, please leave a like on this video. And as always, if you have any questions for me, season-long, DFS, DraftKings, FanDuel, anything in particular, if I like somebody over somebody else, anything that you can ask me, please feel free to do so in the comment section below. Let's go ahead and get right into this. Right here at the top of the line, Odell Beckham is the highest priced guy. I think that's a pretty unattractive play at captain for a lot of people. We don't have our ownership projections out yet, but I think a lot of people are going to be just doing this. Just right there. They're going to say, look, Cleveland's going to have a bounce-back game here, and I think they do too. But it's a lot easier to plug in Nick Chubb for $15K rather than Odell Beckham at $17.7. Below him, though, Le'Veon Bell. I see myself having Le'Veon Bell in almost every lineup tonight. I also see myself getting some Baker exposure. We're going to try to find out the best way to do it. I think a lot of people are going to be focused on I hope people are off Landry. Landry's one of my favorite plays tonight. He's got a pretty good matchup. If we look over here on Roto, he's got one of the best matchups right there. Of course, Odell has a great matchup, but when does Odell not have a good matchup just because of how good he is? But with Brian Poole on Jarvis, I like Jarvis Landry's odds of going for 80 yards and a touchdown. And other than that, though, for the wide receivers at captain, I think for the tournaments, the GPP lineups, I'll probably go ahead and just plug in Odell at the top. He has that slate breaking potential, and if he really does just kind of go nuts, that's what you're just getting paid every single time. If Odell has that two touchdown 100-yard game, and if him and Baker Mayfield feel like playing catch on Monday Night Football prime time, I like those odds. I think this game's pretty much all Cleveland. It's just hard to get the stack that I want in there because these are the guys I want. For cash, I would probably just drop Odell out and then go to captain somebody like Ficken, the cheaper kicker. And then I would probably just go Odell and then punt with somebody down here like Ty Montgomery. I feel like Ty Montgomery might actually get some usage in this game. That's the ideal stack I would want. Obviously, just Baker and his top 2 targets. But if we're looking more for the tournament aspect, I would, like I said, I like Odell at captain. If we're not going with Odell at captain, well, I should say, if we do go with Odell at captain, pretty much every single lineup has to have these 2 guys in it. Odell at captain. But you got to have Baker behind him, I think, because if Odell goes nuts, Baker's probably just slinging balls all night. I don't see them slowing down, which is a good thing. I think a lot of people are focused on Nick Chubb. I think he's going to do well. Nick Chubb's just a talented runner. It's Monday Night Football, prime time. Baker and Odell and Jarvis, they're all kind of just a bunch of I don't know. They're unconventional to say the least. I don't see them slowing down. If they're running up the score, they're just going to keep running it up. I think. So I wouldn't be too worried about blowout here. A lot of people are probably thinking, blowout. They'll just give it to Nick Chubb over and over again. Trevor Siemian, um, he's not going to be highly owned, I wouldn't think. But at the same time, there is some upside here because of Jamison Crowder and because of Le'Veon Bell with his receiving work out of the backfield. I don't hate Trevor Siemian as kind of a mid price. I guess it's kind of upper mid price, but where's he at? He's right below Jarvis Landry. Jamison Crowder's cheaper than him though, which is interesting. I would prefer Crowder if you're spending up, or spending anything in that mid range. I would rather just take Crowder personally. I think Crowder's got better upside, and coming out of the slot, he's actually got like the best matchup out of all those Jets receivers. I will not be touching Robbie Anderson. I can't say that. I'm sure I'll have a little bit of exposure because just like Odell, he can always break that long one. But he does have a tough matchup on Denzel Ward. I really am high on Jarvis Landry. I think he's good in cash. He's got a high floor, but I also think that he could have a really big game. I just have this feeling that something about Monday Night Football, something Odell up here, Le'Veon right behind him, and then give me Baker. I think that's kind of what I'm looking for. Wow, the Jets D is 3K and the Browns D is 5,400. I'm just seeing that. I didn't notice the price difference there. 2,400 price difference for defenses, and the Jets D looked good last week, and the Browns offense looked terrible. I think the Browns win the game. I think the Browns put up quite a few points, but that doesn't mean that the Jets D doesn't get 2 or 3 sacks and maybe a pick six. Baker's he could have a good game, but also throw those 2 interceptions, and if one of them just happens to get housed, that would be pretty big. I don't know if it's going to stay on here, but they do have a couple players out right now. Mosley's out. They have somebody else out on defense too, but I know their linebackers out, and that's kind of a downside. I think he's the one that scored the touchdown last week actually against Buffalo. I don't hate that. I feel like that's not negative points, and for 3,000, it's not going to hurt you. And then you do kind of have to pivot here with like Ty Montgomery or something like that, and then it's kind of awkward looking, I guess, if we took that out. Because I like these 3 as a core for tournaments a lot. Like I said, in cash, I like to pay down in captain and try to squeeze everybody in that top echelon, upper echelon. I guess, I mean, if we like kicker, no, that was still awkward. And I don't like Hilliard. Obviously, he's out this week, but he vultured a couple from me last week, and I had Nick Chubb in most of my lineups going against Tennessee, so I'm staying away from him at all cost. If we switched Le'Veon and Odell, and we put in Bell at captain and Odell down here, that leaves us with 3,200 average. Boom, boom, boom. So then you're looking at both kickers and the Jets D, and you're basically saying the Jets have a decent game here, though. You got Le'Veon in the defense. It's always good to correlate your running back with your defense, I believe. And then you're basically just saying Baker's only going to be thrown to Odell, and I don't hate it. I just really want to try to find something where I'm leaving Odell in that captain spot. I also don't dislike David Njoku tonight. It's hard to judge the defense that the Jets are going to have against tight ends really so far this year, because last week they played the Bills, so it's kind of hard to judge when the Bills don't really have a tight end that's a threat. If we have Odell at the top, and then let's say we do plug in Njoku, I mean, I'm okay with the Le'Veon Bell fade. I just think the volume is going to be there. We could say maybe no Baker in this one. I don't think you have to play Baker with Odell, but especially if you're plugging in Njoku, I mean, 2 of his pass catchers, it would be pretty logical to have him in there too. Because, I mean, he's got to hit 300 passing yards. There's not really any good punt plays down here that I'm just in love with, though. That's kind of my problem. I don't hate Ty Montgomery because I think he could get some work, but then that's not really a punt. That's 1,600. If you drop it all the way down, it's really not pretty. He got let's see. Okay, it was literally one carry, but he did get 2 receptions. I thought it was a few more carries. D'Ernest Johnson, I thought he might have gotten a few more carries than 1 because I knew he definitely got some work in the passing game, a couple targets. But if you plugged him in, I mean, 3,500, that gets you up to a kicker. That's not the worst because we do have that core I mentioned, and then we have a kicker and David Njoku, and then pray to God, D'Ernest gets maybe 2 catches again. I don't despise that at all. I think that's actually something that I would look for. If I can get these guys in right here, with Odell at captain for tournaments. That's kind of my goal. Once I do land on a lineup that I'm positive about, it will be posted in the doc, though, so make sure that you come on over here. We'll add it in probably right here below the prime time. And then if you do have any questions, again, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. And I think this is going to be a good Monday Night Football game. So like I said, if you're not already registered on the site, make sure you do go over to dfs-squid.com and get registered. And don't miss out tonight, because I do have a good feeling we're going to take it down here on Monday Night Football. But until next time, I will see you guys probably on Wednesday. I'll probably upload my first thoughts on Sunday this Wednesday. So we'll see you then. And then good luck to everybody tonight.